Hey everybody, welcome back to Vlog Every Day in April. It's me, Mark W. Gray, still here. Yesterday you saw me get the stitches out. The day before that were my 3 big ideas, like TED Talk kind of things, that I wanted to share with you. I got one more big idea for you, and this one's my idea, and it's how we're going to save the world.
Mark vlogs every day in April.
Okay, energy. All the energy of everything on the earth, all the oil, all the wood you might burn, all the gerbils running on treadmills, all that energy can be traced back to energy that came from the sun. You know, nuclear fusion, I think, on the sun sent heat to the earth, which, you know, allowed plants to grow and animals to eat them and run on the treadmill, or for these animals and plants to die and become coal and oil to be burned by us. The direct route of that we have is solar energy, right? Wouldn't it be great if we could have solar power for all of our stuff? What's wrong with that? Well, solar power is very inefficient presently, but also it's not sunny everywhere, and half the time it's night. So the problem is, how do you gather enough solar energy, and then how do you get it to the people who need it? You can't put electricity on a truck and move it. They have built solar farms out in places like near Las Vegas. If you drive to Las Vegas from LA, you see these amazing 50-story tall black towers with circles of mirrors all around them, reflecting sunlight out to this black body, which gets glowing super hot, and they use that to make electricity. A solar farm, great. Build giant solar farms in places where nobody lives, out in the desert, where there's loads of sunshine dependably all the time, right? Great, fantastic. The problem is you've got to get that juice to where people are going to use it, to a city. And the cities are far away from the deserts, right? There's all this solar energy coming down in this one place, and all this energy being used way over here. Now you can't just build a wire and run a wire from the solar farm all the way to the person using the energy because of resistance. Because of the way wire works, as electricity passes through a wire, it deteriorates. The electrons are bouncing around and they get kind of worn out, and a lot of the energy is lost as heat. So you've got to put a lot more energy in on one end of a cable to get energy out on the other side, so you lose it. The cabling is inefficient. You can't go hundreds of miles with electricity without losing too much of it. Now I've got the solution to get the electricity from point A to point B without losing any of it, and that answer is hydrogen, okay? You can run a car off hydrogen, you can make electricity out of hydrogen in a hydrogen fuel cell. So you take electricity, put it into water, and it makes hydrogen and oxygen, right? Then you can take that hydrogen, bottle it up, put it in a pipeline, take it on a truck, take it on a train, I don't know. You transport it the same way you would transport coal or oil or anything else via a pipeline to the place where you need the electricity, and then you use it to turn it back into electricity there without a lot of loss. And if you get a pipeline spill on your hydrogen pipeline, it's gas that just sort of dissolves into the atmosphere, okay? Okay, Mark, what about the Hindenburg? What about the explosive power of hydrogen? What about the explosive power of gasoline? It's in everybody's car. We've managed to master that. If we put our minds to it, you can have a tank of hydrogen on your car that would be no more dangerous than the tank of gasoline that's on there now. Probably less so. I mean, where are the frontiers of energy that you keep hearing about now? You got fracking and the Canadian tar sands. Fracking is natural gas that's under mostly the United States, like Pennsylvania, places like that, that's kind of embedded in the rock that the earth is made out of. And they drill deep into the earth and fracture that, releasing natural gas that they can then harvest. It's very expensive, complicated, and might be releasing natural gas into the water supply and everywhere else and kind of screwing up the planet. Now they say it isn't, and they say it's all clean. There's a lot of issues with fracking. I'm not going to get into it with government regulation, but still, it's taking carbon out of the earth and burning it. The worst one is the Canadian tar sands. If you go up in Alberta, Canada, there's this huge kind of area that's all just tar. It's tar sands. It's just what it sounds like. It's like La Brea tar pits. It's low quality, dirty, filthy oil that's embedded in sands up in Alberta. But there's a ton of it. There's something like 67 trillion barrels of oil's worth of stuff there. But it's kind of too expensive and complicated to get as it is now. You see, it takes a lot of refining to get that filthy, gunky bitumen to be normal, useful oil, so they've got to refine it. And where are all the cheap refineries? In Louisiana, on the Gulf Coast. That's why they want to build the Keystone XL pipeline all across the Louisiana Purchase, right down to the Gulf Coast, so they can pump this. They pump a lot of hot, chemical-filled water into this stuff, and they sluice it down this pipeline to the Gulf Coast where it gets refined, okay? Okay, we get 1 or 2 jobs out of that, but then the company, TransCanada, doing it, is going to sell all that oil to China, and they're going to burn every barrel of it until the sky is like black like the Matrix. That's why I've come up with my solution of how to use solar power at a scale like we use oil power. So that's my big idea. Generate electricity in the places where electricity is cheap and abundant, like big dams and giant solar farms out in the desert far away from people. And then turn all that juice into hydrogen. But then you've got to develop your hydrogen infrastructure to get the hydrogen to us in the cities so we can use it to run our electric cars and our electric hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Get off of fossil fuels and get with solar power, hydrogen coming from solar power. That's my big idea. World, it's all yours. Take it, run with it. Someone else has surely thought of this already, but I just want to spread the word. Talk about this with your friends. Spread this idea around and see if it sticks with them. So picture the gas station of the future here in Southern California. A great big roof covered in solar panels, generating electricity that's making into hydrogen, putting into a tank, and then pumping it into your car when you come up. Self-contained hydrogen generating, energy generating station where you can fill your car with no truck or pipeline or anything that has to come there. Doesn't that sound fascinating? That's what I want to see. And then maybe someday you have that on your house as well. And you can plug your electric car into your house or your hydrogen car into your house's hydrogen plant that's being made out of your own solar panels. You see, if we can get away from this massive infrastructure of oil and coal and all that, and be smart about it, and invent smarter, smaller machines, we can actually do some good things for the world. And especially the developing world like China, where they're going to need so many cars and so much stuff once they all decide they want one. And if they just burn all this Canadian tar sands instead, the Earth is going to look like the Matrix when they unplug you. I don't want to live there. Be sure to leave a comment or a question or a thought in the comments below and let me know what you think of this idea, if you think it's totally out of line or if you think it's pretty damn clever. Because I think it's pretty damn clever. And also let me know if you'd like me to talk about smart things like this or just talk about my stitches and bones and all that jazz. I'm glad to serve any way you slice it. All right, thanks a million. I'll see you tomorrow.